Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to study actually the image formation by concave mirror as well as your convex mirror. Okay. So hope all of you have gone through my previous video where I have explained the topics like the part 1 of this chapter. So guys, I will recommend those who have not gone through that video, please go and watch that video first. You will find the link of that video in the description section below, or you can find in the card section over here. If you can see, there is an icon like this. So if you click on that, you will see the link of the previous video. So guys, it's very important because in that video I have explained the concept of how the phenomena of a ray of light, what happen when it strike to a mirror. So this is very important to understand the image formation by concave and convex mirror. Okay, so so let's start. So in this guys, so this is a table which is given in your book. Okay, so we will study this table only. So this is the first table is for the image formation by your concave mirror, and the second table is for the convex mirror. So we are going to study, we are going to understand this table only, ki what will be the possible position of the object. Okay, what are the possible position of the image, what will be the size of the image, and what is the nature of the image. Okay, so we'll start one by one. So first I will explain you ki how we are going to decide the position of the object in case of concave mirror. Okay guys, so see here. So suppose this is a concave mirror. Okay, this is a concave mirror. Okay, and I am going to draw a principal axis. So this is your principal axis. So we know that what are the things? This point is your pole. This is your center of curvature, and suppose this the middle between the center part of C and P is your focus. Okay. So what will be the possible position of the object? Okay. So possible position of the object. So always remember one thing: you are going to position the object on the left hand side of the mirror. On the left hand side of the mirror. So what will be the possible position? The one possible position I am seeing that the object is very far from the mirror. Means when any object is very far from the mirror, it means it's somewhere in the infinity. Correct, it's somewhere in the infinity. So position of the object, so first position will be when your object is at infinity. So this is going to be your first position. All right guys, what will be the next position? So now from the infinity, now come towards, so from the infinity you will have to come towards your mirror. So from the infinity, if you come towards the mirror, so next position you will get somewhere between infinity and your center of curvature. So what I will say, we will say beyond C. What we will say, beta? We will say beyond C. The next position will be your somewhere here in the beyond C. Hope you guys understanding it. So one position is this, second position is this. Now come much closer to your mirror. So your next position will become at C. What will be your next position? Next position will be your beta. Third position will be, I will say it's at C. Now come more closer. So if you come more closer, what will be your next position? Between C and F. So fourth position will be your between C and F. C and F means center of curvature and your focus. Now what will be the next position? Next position will be at F. See guys, you will have to start from infinity and you will have to come towards the mirror. This is the simple concept you will have to follow. You don't have to memorize these positions. If you start from the infinity, automatically you will see where you will go. Okay. So next will be between F and P. Sorry, fifth is your at F. Fifth position is your beta at F, means at focus. What will the next position of the object? Next position of the object between F and P, somewhere here between F and P. So sixth position will be your beta between F and P. Is there will be any other possibility? Now if you go more closer, so it will be either at P, so it's not possible. Okay, so these are the possible position of the object in case of concave mirror. In case of, this is your concave mirror. Okay, this is your concave mirror. Hope you guys understand this. So come here beta, in case of concave mirror you will see these are the 6 positions they have written: at infinity, beyond C, at C, between C and F, at F, and between P and F. Now we are going to study the image formation at these 6 points, at these 6 positions. So we will start with your first position. Okay guys, so let me draw the mirror first. So this is going to be the, guys, just please watch it very carefully. Okay, it's very important topic. It's very important topic actually. Okay, and this, if you are going to take physics in the higher classes in 11th and 12th, so in 12th class there is a large, there is alone one very big chapter on this topic. Okay, so it's very important to understand. If you will not be able to understand it over here, it's going to be very problematic for you, okay, in the higher classes, or even though in this class, because this is one of the highest scoring chapter of the physics. Okay guys, so this is your so I will say, okay, this is your pole. Okay, so I will say this is your pole P, this is your center of curvature C, this is your F. So first case, when your position of the object is at infinity. So if the position of the object is at infinity, so it will be somewhere here, correct? It will be beta somewhere here, correct? That somewhere in the infinity. So one thing which we will have to assume, that all the light rays coming from the infinity will always be parallel to your principal axis. Remember this. All the light rays coming from infinity will always be parallel to your principal axis. Okay, so and what we need in order to draw an image, we need at least minimum two light rays. Just remember this. In order to draw an image, what we need? We need minimum two light rays. Okay. So since all the light rays coming from the infinity, they are parallel to the principal axis. So of course both the light rays will be parallel to the principal axis. So let's draw that light ray. So one light ray I will just write it like this, and another light ray I will just draw it like this. Okay, you can see both the light rays are parallel to the principal axis. So what is the condition? I have told you in my previous video that if a light ray is parallel to the principal axis, what will happen after reflection? After it will strike to the mirror, and after striking the mirror it will reflect, correct? So what will happen? So what will happen after reflection? It will pass through your focus. So in the first case also, after reflection it will pass through the focus. Okay, so this I have explained this in the previous video ki what will be the condition. Okay, so here we will have to see that these two light rays, one light ray is this and another light ray is the second one. So these two light ray, where they are intersecting, so in this case they are intersecting at point F. So what will be your position of the image? So remember ki how we decide the position of the image. So position of the image is decided by the two light rays intersecting, the point of intersection of two light rays. So in this case the point of intersection of two light rays is your F. So your position of the image, so I will say position is equal to at F. Position is equal to at F. So check here. So see, when the position of the object is at infinity, so what is the position of the image? Position of the image is at F. And how we decide? We decide by looking into the point of intersection of two rays. Point of intersection of two rays. So check here. Here the point of intersection of two rays are at F. Okay. Now coming to the point. So what will happen? So how we are going to decide the size of the object? Size of the image. Okay, size of the image. So size of the image is decided by, like suppose these two rays are somewhere intersecting like over here. I am assuming. Okay, so in this case, so what we will have to do? We will have to draw a line to the principal axis. So this is the height, this is the size, this will become the size of the image. Correct, means the distance from the principal axis to the point of intersection of the rays. So in this case beta, since these two rays are intersecting at principal axis only, so it means the distance from the principal axis to the point of intersection of these two rays is almost zero, is your zero. So what will be the size of the image? We can say it's diminished, or we can say it's point size, diminished or point size. Okay, diminished or point size, just remember this. Okay, so check here. From here check what's saying, it's highly diminished or point size. So this will become your size of the image. Now it's showing nature of the image. So nature of the image is beta, always remember that the nature is if you are seeing that these two rays are in actual intersecting, not virtually, but actually they are, if so that there are two term, virtual term and actual. Okay, just remember this beta, actual and virtual. Okay, actual and virtual. So when the two light rays are intersecting each other actually, okay, if the two light rays intersecting each other actually, so in this case a real image is formed. In this case a real image is formed. Okay, but in case of if they are not actually intersecting each other, so in that case virtual image is formed. Just remember this, real and virtual. So in this case what you are seeing? You are seeing that the light rays are intersecting each other in actual. So what will be the image? Image will be your real image. Now the next is showing whether it will be erect or inverted, whether it will be erect or inverted. Okay, so how we are going to decide whether the image erect, what is the meaning of erect and inverted first? So erect means, so the way your object is, that in the same way image will be formed. Like in this case object is upside, so image will, if the image will also form upside, means that will be the erect image. But if the image will form downside, in that case that will be your inverted image. So since this is a very point size image, so we can't say whether it's an erect or inverted. Okay, because we are not able to see that. So but what happen if you come closer, if you come closer to the mirror, which we are going to study in the next cases. So if you come closer to the mirror, what will you see? You will see that the image is formed somewhere below the principal axis. So that's why I say that in this case also your image will be inverted. Okay, your image will be inverted. So these are the things you will have to remember. What if the position of the object is at infinity? At that case the position of the image will be at focus, image will be real, image will be inverted, and the size of the image will be diminished, or you can say point size, diminished, or it can say point size. So this is the your first case. Check here. So if the position of the object at infinity, position of the image will be at f, the size of the image will be highly diminished, point size, and the nature of the image will be real and inverted. So hope you guys understand this, in which case it will be real. So real means if the light rays are intersecting each other. Anyway, you will be understanding it more when we will solve other cases. So now the next, let's take the next case, which is your beyond C. So hope everything is clear till this point, guys. Anyone is having any doubt, guys, please feel free to ask me doubt in the comment section. I am going to respond. Okay, so let's solve the next case. So hold on. Okay, so this is your next mirror. Okay, so and I'm going to draw the principal axis. So this is your principal axis. Okay, and I will say this is your P point, this is your F, this is your C, and that's it. So again what we need, so now where is your object? Your object is beyond C. Let's make it over here. So next position of your object is beyond beyond C. Okay, so what will happen in this case, beta? Again two light rays will go. Let me change the color. So two light ray, one will be this, which will be parallel. So let's take one light ray is parallel. So what will happen if the light ray will go parallel? It will pass via your focus, correct? Second case, from here let's send the light ray via F. Let's send the light ray via F. So if the light ray will go via F, okay, so this will intersect somewhere here, and after reflection what will happen? After reflection it will go something like this, correct? So what you are seeing over here, that these two light rays, one is this going, and after reflection it's going like this. This light ray is passing via F, and after reflection it will go parallel. These things I have already explained in the previous videos. That's why I'm saying again and again, please, it's very important to watch the previous video in order to understand the phenomena of light rays. Okay, ray of light. So check here, beta. Where is your point of intersection of the reflected rays? So this is the point of intersection of the reflected rays. Okay. So what is its position? Its position is between C and F. Its position is between C and F. So your image, so I am going to write the characteristics of image. So characteristics of image, first characteristic is the position. Okay. So position you can say between C and F. This is your position. Okay. Next is the size. What will be the size? Size you are seeing, look at this size, this height and this height. So of course this one is the smaller, so you can say size is smaller than object or smaller, you can simply say. Are these two reflected rays are intersecting each other in actual? Yes, they are intersecting each other in actual. It means that's a real image. It means that's a real image. And is this a erect or inverted? It's inverted. It's inverted because your object is upside and this is the downside. So these are the characteristics of the images when the position of the object is beyond C. Check here, beta. When it's beyond C, position of the image is between C, F and C. Size is smaller, diminished, or you can say smaller in size. Nature of the image is real and inverted. Hope you guys understand this. Let's talk about the third case when it's at C. Okay. So I will just show, this is your mirror. I will draw the principal axis. This is your principal axis. Then we will take out, okay, this is going to be your F, this is going to be your P, and this is going to be your C. Okay. And now your object is at C. Now your object is at C. So what you will have to do? You will have to draw, again what we need two rays, correct? So always send one ray parallel, and after reflection beta it will go via your point F. Now send another ray F. Okay. What will happen? After reflection it will go like this. Okay guys, so what are you seeing over here? We are seeing over here that this is your one light ray, this is your one light ray going like this is your another light ray going like this. So what is your point of intersection? So this is your point of intersection. This is your point of intersection. So what was your position of the object? Position of the object was at C. Now I am going to write the characteristics of the images. So in the characteristics, what we write first? First always we write your position. So what is your position, beta? Can anyone tell me what is the position? So position is your points here. What is the position? Position means position is also at C. It means when the object is at C, at that time image will always form at C. What is the size? Size, if you can check, the size is of equal size. Okay, means size is of equal size. And again it's real because both the light rays are intersecting each other in actual, and it's inverted. So these are the characteristics of the image. Hope you guys understand this. So check here. So we're saying when the position of the object is at C, position of the image will also at C. It's of the same size, equal size, real and inverted. Okay, now let's go to the next position, which is between C and F. Okay, so let me draw this. This is your mirror, this is going to be your principal axis, and now I will again write, okay, this is your pole, this is your F, and this is your C, this is your object, this is your object. So same thing what we will have to do, you will have to draw two lines, means two rays actually. So one ray is what I have told you, always send one ray, always send parallel. So after going parallel, after reflection it will pass via F. Okay, another ray you can send by F. Okay, so what will happen? After reflection it will go parallel, so it will go parallel like this. So hope you guys have found out the characteristics. So what will be the characteristics, guys? So this is your one light ray going like this, another one is this light ray, after reflection it's going like this. So this is your point of intersection. So the position of the object is between C and F. And now I'm going to write the characteristics of the images. So what will be the characteristics of the images? First, its position. So what is the position? Position is your, see here, beyond C. What is the position? Position is beyond, just write here, beyond C. Okay, this is your position. What's the next thing? Next we find size. What you are saying? Size is enlarged. Size is beta enlarged. You can see, na, it's compared to, it's bigger than the object. So size of the image will be enlarged. Okay, and position you got size. Is it a real or virtual? It's a real, because the reflected rays are intersecting each other in actual. So the image will be your real image, and it's inverted. You can see it's inverted. So this is the characteristics of an image when the object is between C and F. And guys, we are talking about concave mirror. Okay, so check here, between C and F, beyond C, enlarged, real and inverted. Now let's talk about the fifth point, which is at F. Okay, hold on. So this is your mirror. Okay, and I'm going to draw the principal axis. So this will be your principal axis. I will write the position. So this, I will say this is your P, this is your F, and this is your C. Now position of the object is at C, means, sorry, at F, at F. So it will be somewhere, guys, here, correct? It will be somewhere here. Now same thing, what you will have to do? You will have to draw the rays. So one ray will always go parallel. After reflection, it will pass from focus F. Now in this case, send another ray to your here. So what will happen after reflection? It will go like this. Okay, so what will happen in this case, guys? Those who have not watched my previous video, please go and watch that video. That's very important. Okay, so there I have explained ki how this light ray we have when they strike to the different position in the mirror. So in this case, what you are seeing, beta? Now write the characteristics of the image. Now it's good time to write the characteristics of the image. So how you are going to write the characteristics of the image? In this case, what you are seeing? What is the position, point of intersection? So since these two lines are parallel lines, so where do the parallel lines intersect each other? So we know that the parallel line intersect each other at infinity, So the position of the image will be your at infinity. That will be your position of the image. Okay, of course these two rays are real. Okay, these two rays are okay. Now next thing is your position is at infinity. What will be the size? Size will be highly enlarged. See, when they will meet at infinity, so the size will become highly enlarged. You can write it highly, H-I-G-H-L-Y. Okay, highly enlarged. Okay, guys. So now next one is, of course, that is going to be real, because these two rays are going to cut each other at infinity, and that will be your inverted. So this is the case when your position of the object is at F. Hope you guys understand this. Come here and check. We will check here. See here, when it at F, position of the image is infinity, it's highly enlarged, and it's real and inverted. Now we are going to study the last case, which is between P and F. Between P and F. Okay. So let me go to the whiteboard. So I'm going to draw your mirror. So this is your mirror. Okay, and I will draw the principal axis. So this is your principal axis. Now I will mark the positions. So I will say, okay, this one, hold on. So this one is your position F, this one is your position C, this one is your position P. Guys, watch this very carefully. And your object is somewhere here. Your object is somewhere here. Okay. Now what will happen in this case? What will happen in this case, guys? So in this case, I will just change the color of the rays. Okay, so let me choose some red color and I will choose the line. Okay, so check here beta. From this point, if one ray is going parallel, so what will happen? After reflection, it will go pass by F, correct? Next ray you can send it like this. So what will happen after reflection? It will go like this, correct? So what you are seeing in the left hand side. So now here I will say okay, your position of the object is between F and P. That's fine. What will be the position of the image? Because I am seeing on the left hand side these two lines are never going to cut. These two lines are never going to cut each other on the left hand side. So of course the position of the image is not going to be left hand side. But what we are seeing over here, in this case guys, if I am going to extend these two reflected rays, if I am going to extend these two reflected rays like this, okay, if I am going to extend this like this and this also, so they will cut somewhere behind the mirror, correct? Somewhere at this point behind the mirror, correct? So they are not cutting each other, they are not intersecting each other actually, okay? But if somehow I will extend this behind the mirror, so they will cut virtually. So in this case your image will be formed somewhere here. Your image will be formed behind the mirror. Where your image will form behind the mirror. So what will the characteristics of the image? So first thing is your positions. What is your position? Position is your behind the mirror. What is the position? It's behind the mirror. Okay. What will be the size? Size, you can see size is enlarged because this is the size of the object, this is the size of the image. So size is enlarged. Hope you guys understand this. Okay. And is it a real or virtual? It's virtual beta, it's not real, it's virtual. Why virtual? Because these two reflected rays are not intersecting each other in actual. Okay, so that's why the image formed will be your virtual image, and of course image is your erect image. So hope you guys understand this. Okay, so it's behind the mirror, enlarged, virtual and erect. So check here, it's between P and F, behind the mirror, enlarged, virtual and erect. So this is from your concave mirror. So let's check with your book if there is anything else in the concave mirror. So we have gone through these 6 cases, your A at infinity, beyond C, at C, between C and F, at F, between F and P. Okay. So these are the cases. So now the next thing is asking what are the uses of concave mirror. So where we use our concave mirror. So concave mirrors are generally used where we need like the focus, where we need that our beam of light should go very far. So it means it will be used in torches, it will be used in searchlight, because this concave mirror, what they are converting the light. They are converting the light towards focus. So they are also called converging mirror. They are also called beta converging mirror. Means what they are doing? They are converting the light. So they are also called converging mirror. Remember this. So somewhere in the exam, if you find converging mirror, means it's nothing but it's a concave mirror. And what is the uses? It's uses in torch, searchlight, vehicle headlight to give the powerful beam of the light. Told you. Okay. So these are the cases where we use it. Okay, also this large concave mirrors are used to concentrate sunlight to produce heat in solar furnace. To produce heat in solar furnace. What happened? Like suppose like the very huge amount. So this is your mirror. Suppose this is your mirror. Okay, and there is a huge amount of rays coming. Huge amount of sun rays are coming. Okay, so what they all will be redirected at one point. They all will be redirected at one point. Correct? So what will happen at this point will become very heat, the heat because of these rays. So in this way they use in solar furnace. So these are the uses of concave mirror. Hope it's clear to you guys. Now we'll go and study the image formation by convex mirror. So in the convex mirror only 2 cases are there. I will explain why only 2 cases are there. So first we will study the position of the object. Let me draw the mirror. So this is going to be your convex mirror. Hold on. Okay, let me draw the principal axis first. So this is going to be your principal axis. So guys, see, in this case what I have told you, that your like in this case the image object will always be on the left hand side of the mirror, because this is your shining surface, correct? So of course you are going to put your object in front of shining surface only. So in this case your F and C will be behind the mirror somewhere here, not on the left hand side. So what we are seeing, so what will be the possible position of the object? So one position will always be infinity, correct? One position will always be infinity. Next position will, of course, it's going to be somewhere between infinity and P, because there is no other case on the left hand side. So the next position will be between infinity and your P, means pole of the mirror. So these are the only two cases over here. So that's what this at infinity and between infinity and the pole of the mirror. So we are going to study these two cases. So let's start with the first case, when your object is somewhere at infinity. So what I have told you, that from infinity all the light rays coming from the infinity will always be parallel to the principal axis. So first light ray will come this, okay, and if it's parallel to the principal axis, so what will happen after reflection? So it's not going to come downside, because this convex mirror is also called your diverging mirror. Convex mirror is also called your diverging mirror, because it's diverted the light. It's diverted the light. The same way I have told you that the concave mirror is your converging mirror, your convex mirror is your diverging mirror. So what will happen in this case? The light will be diverted, but remember guys, this will be diverted in such a way that if you are going to extend this, like this, hold on, give me a minute. Okay, so if you are going to extend this, suppose I'm going to extend this, so it's going to pass via your F. Okay, so this will go like this, but if I am going to extend the reflected ray, remember which ray you are going to extend? Reflected ray, so it will pass by F. Okay, let me draw the another light ray. Again another light ray will also come in parallel, and if that will come in parallel after reflection, that will also go something like this. Okay, and if I am going to extend this, so this is also going to intersect at point F. So in this case, this is going to intersect in both the cases, it's going to intersect at point F. So position of the object is at infinity. What will be the position of the image? The position of the image will be at F, correct? What is the size of the image? Size of the image is highly diminished, or you can say point size highly diminished, or you can say beta point sized. Okay, is it a real or virtual? It's virtual. Why it's virtual? Because the two reflected rays are not intersecting each other in actual. So that's why they are called virtual images. Okay, and how it will be beta? It will be somewhere like it's here, so it's erect. Why I am saying erect? Because since it's a point size and you are not able to judge whether it will be erect or inverted, but what will happen if you come towards it, so you will see the position of the image like this, it will go up only. So that's why it's erect. Okay, so this we are assuming that it's an erect, and why we are our assumption is an erect, because if it will come closer, if the object will keep coming closer, the size of the image will, of course it will increase. So when the size of the image increases, it will go up. So that's why it has been assumed that this will also be your erect. Okay, so this is your first case. Check here, when the position of the object is at infinity, the position of the image is at F, which is behind the mirror, of course, and it is point size, virtual and erect. Just remember this, virtual and erect. Okay guys, let's solve the next case. Next case is okay, let me draw the mirror first. Hold on, let me draw the mirror first, then I'm going to draw the principal axis. So this is your principal axis. Again what will happen, this is going to be your F and this is going to be your C. Okay, now I am going to draw the light rays. So this is, I am assuming this is your object somewhere here. Okay, this is your object. Okay, so if the first light ray will go parallel to the principal axis, after reflection it will go something like this, which if I am going to extend, so this is going to pass your principal focus. Okay, let's take another light ray. So another light ray, I can take it something like this. So if this will go like this, so after reflection it will go like this. Okay, and if I'm going to extend this, so this is going to intersect somewhere here. So this is your intersection point, correct? This is your intersection point. So when the position of the object is between infinity and the pole, so at that time, what will be your position of the image? The position of the image will be between P and F, means pole and F, which is your behind the mirror. Just write it behind the mirror. Okay. What is the size? Size is of course small in size. Size is small in size. See, this is the size of the object and this is your size of the image. Size is small in size. Is it real or virtual? It's virtual, because the two reflected rays are not intersecting each other in actual. See, one reflected ray is this, another reflected ray is this. So we know on the left hand side they are never going to intersect. So they are intersecting virtually. So that's why we will say those are the virtual images. Okay, and of course this is your erect. So these are the properties. So check here, it's between P and F. Size is diminished means small in size, virtual and erect. So hope you guys understand this. This is the these are the there are 6 cases in case of concave mirror and there are 2 cases in case of convex mirror. Let's check and solve few questions if it's there in your book. So hold on, it's loading. So image formation by convex mirror, I will see. So these are the 2 cases are there, which I have already explained. One is when it's at infinity, and another case is between your infinity and P. Okay guys. Now I think there will be some uses. So where these convex mirrors are going to use. So convex, actually if you guys have seen the rear view mirror of the vehicle, whether it's a car or bike, those mirror are convex mirror. And why we put convex mirror over this? Because see, in case of convex mirror, we are seeing that the image formation, that image is very small. Okay, so as compared to the large object, the image will be small. So even though in the small mirror you will be able to see that object, in the small mirror you will be able to see that object. So that's why we use convex mirror in the vehicles. That's why we used convex mirror in the vehicles as a rear view mirror. So there it's used. There are other cases also, which if you will go through you will get it. Okay, what are the cases? Okay, so there are few questions on this. Let's go on this way. Define the principal focus of a concave mirror. So what will the principal focus of the concave mirror? So just define, if a light ray coming parallel to the principal axis, so after reflection, the point at which the reflected ray intersect the principal axis, that point is called principal focus of the concave mirror. Okay. Second question, the radius of the curvature of the spherical mirror is 20 centimeter. What is the focal length? So I have already told you, beta, focal length is half of the radius of the curvature. So that will be your 20 divided by 2, which is equal to 10 centimeter. That will be your answer. Name the mirror that can give an erect and enlarged image. Okay, erect image and enlarged image. So see, in case of convex mirror you get the erect image, correct? See here, in case of convex mirror you get the erect image, but in this case the image is not enlarged, the image is small. The image is, in this case you will get erect, but the image is small. But your question is asking that in which case you will get erect image but enlarged image. So remember the last case of your concave mirror, when the position of the object is between F and P, in this case it's giving you the enlarged image and erect image, okay. So your answer is concave mirror. That name the mirror. So what will be your answer? Concave mirror. If you want you can write the reasoning also. Fourth question, why do you prefer a convex mirror as a rear view mirror in the vehicle? Guys, just I have explained that because the view angle, the view part of the convex mirror will become broader. Why it become broader? Because the image is of the objects is very small. So in the small mirror itself you can see lot of things. So that's why the convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror in the vehicles. Alright guys, so guys, that's it from this video. So in the next video I will be starting the sign convention of for the reflection by spherical mirrors. Okay, we will study the mirror formula and its magnification, and we'll solve the numericals on this. Okay, so guys, please like this video, please share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel. And if you guys are having any doubts, please ask your doubts in the comment section, and you can also send me an email at info@rapidgyan.com. Thank you.